Hi, this is Sensei Grout. I'm with the UKO Karate School, and today I wanted to share with you the quick fix for bullying. Not, there's no quick fix for bullying. As parents, our job is to prepare our children for life as an adult. As an adult, they're going to face all kinds of bullies at school, in politics, at work, at home, at church, and even when they're trying to just have some leisure time. Dealing with a bully doesn't have a one size fits all answer, right? There is no quick fix for bullying, but there are skills that we can all develop in knowing how to handle a bully situation. So here's a few comments I'd like for you to consider. Right? First, make sure your child is not a bully. I've seen a lot of parents deny any possibility that their child could be a bully, but many of those parents have been flamboozled. Right? There's an old TV show called Leave It to Beaver, and one of the characters was named Eddie Haskell. Eddie Haskell was the nicest, politest kid around adults and teachers, but when they weren't around, he was the instigator of trouble. The sneaky bully is a technique used often by people who you wouldn't expect to be a bully. I've seen many little kids bug a group of teenagers because they wanted to be included in the teenagers' conversation. The little one was trying to make the teenagers do what he wanted by bugging them and bugging them and bugging them, no matter how much the teenagers asked him to leave. Then, pow! Right? One of the teens punches the kid in the arm. What's the little kid say? Mom, they're punching me, right? He was trying to flex his power, right, to get the teens in trouble because he didn't get what he wanted. The little kid was the real bully in this situation. In the town I grew up in, it was always the pastor's kid who was the wildest teenager. So make sure your kid is not an Eddie Haskell. Second thing, teach your kids to use an appropriate level of response. Words do not hurt. You may feel hurt, but that's because your own brain is making that hurt feeling. No matter what words a bully uses, the words will not physically hurt you. Therefore, it is inappropriate to use physical violence if the other person is just using words. Now, there's one caveat to this, right? If they are threatening to hurt you, right, you got to take that threat seriously and take an appropriate action to protect yourself, like leave, get out of the area, right? But I've seen parents so upset that their little darling was called this or that name. And the parents start stomping around, yelling that it's not right, and yelling about what they're going to do and who they're going to talk to, and making a big fuss. But what that teaches their child is words are a big deal. And the kids get the hint that they should be emotionally devastated. And that's what they become, emotionally devastated. So practice yourself. Don't overreact like that. Teach your child how to be resilient to name calling on words, right? And teach them how to deal with verbal bullies in a calm manner. Next, help your child to see their own internal bully and help them find self-acceptance. The worst bully we face is our own brain. It's the bully that calls us the worst things, right? That convinces us to feel so hurt and devastated. It's the one that scares us the most, and it's the one that stops us from loving ourselves just the way we are. Of course, all of the standards of how we should be that is distributed by the media and businesses and institutions doesn't help our children get a balanced view of what real life is like. But even if you look at your lawn, the green in your lawn is made of many types of plants. And even each blade of grass is different than the other blades of grass. And yet the life of each blade of grass or weed is just as important as any other blade of grass. Help your child to see this. Self-acceptance is a hard thing to learn. Most adults don't even find it before they die, right? But self-acceptance is the only sane path to take in life. It makes no sense to listen to a little electrical signal in your computer-like brain that tells you to not be happy or to not love yourself, when your whole primary goal in life is to love and be happy. So love yourself for exactly who you are right now and help your child to do the same. Next, make sure you teach your child to make friends, even if you have to force them to do it, right? There is safety in being part of a tribe of friends. Bullies are less likely to pick on someone that has friends around them. Bullies tend to pick on isolated loners. So if you want bullies to pick on your child, teach them how to be an isolated loner, right? As it is in nature, so it is at the playground, right? The same forces come into play. One study, though, I found, right, I heard of, it showed that an instance of bullying will be stopped in under 10 seconds if other people, like your friends, speak up to stop the bullying. So teach your child to make friends and teach them to stick up for their friends. Next, help your child to learn courage to stand up for themselves. Courage, of course, for me is a really important thing. I think that's what martial arts teach the most. But courage is the one personal strength that creates all other personal strengths in life. Living your life from fear just makes your life get smaller and smaller and smaller until you are just a trapped slave in a cell. Courage to stand up for yourself and to live the way you want to live leads to greater freedom and fulfillment in life. The bullies depend on your fear, and they depend on your inaction for their very survival. So quit feeding them fear and inaction. Help your child to find their courage. Listen, hey, if a little house cat can find the courage to stand up to a bear, your child can learn to stand up to a bully. Now, I'm sorry we don't have time in an article like this to cover much of what's needed, right? But UKO Karate will have a Bully Buster class for kids in Kitsap County probably this November. In that class, we'll cover a lot of the stuff that I talked about here, but we'll also do a lot of other things. We'll also cover, 5 verbal skills, they can use to diffuse a situation, 5 things that tell you when it's time to take action, and possible actions, including working the crowd. And lastly, we'll cover some self-defense techniques. And parents are required to attend, right? So if you're interested in that class, you can leave your name and contact information with Janice at our email. It's ukokarate@wavecable.com. So ukokarate@wavecable.com. Or call her at 360-871-5454. This year, we'll probably ask for a $5 donation to the South Kitsap Helpline for you to attend this class. Anyhow, I hope to see you guys there, right? Thanks for your time.